The Bank of England has just announced the base rate will stay at 3.75%. Now that might sound like a non-event, but a hold still tells us a lot. I recently sat down with Richard Merrett from Alexander Hall at the Brentford Project by Ballymore to talk through exactly that, what buyers, sellers and anyone with a mortgage should be thinking about right now. Let's get into it. A huge wave of fixed deals are coming to an end this year, including mine. Okay, how is it that lenders are going to compete for borrowers when that's the situation?
Yeah, so we're seeing huge competition in the market and lots of requirement for lenders to lend. And as a result, there's lots and lots of pricing movement, not just in relation to what's going on in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Ultimately, lenders want to lend, they need to lend. So we're seeing lots and lots of different innovations. And you've just touched on the number of deals coming to an end, but actually this also then plays out into the purchase market. And what we've really seen is a huge amount of innovation towards the first-time buyer market in particular. So a number of major lenders have improved their affordability. A number have introduced new products for people with smaller deposits. So I think there's lots of opportunity out there, and it's really about borrowers understanding, being curious, to ask the question, can I get a mortgage? At what level? How much will it cost me? And the best thing that they can do to find out is go and speak to an advisor.
Yeah, definitely.
Rates dominate the national conversation,
yeah.
But how much do they actually shape what's happening on a street-by-street level in London?
Yeah, look, it's a really good question. And I think, as we've discussed before, you can sometimes get a bit of panic from what happens with the rate announcements. But you are always going to have the core amount of people that want to sell. They want to upsize. You've got those people that are coming to the end of their tenancy and want to get onto the ladder for the first time. And a lot of people are moving for genuine life decisions, be it they want to, they're having a child or they might be separating. For whatever reason, there will always be an infinite amount of demand in that market. I think what's really important from a seller's perspective is don't panic. Don't rush to make a decision on where your pricing sits, but listen to your estate agent, listen to the feedback. More often than not, if something is sitting on the market, it's not because of necessarily a huge change in a rate in the marketplace. It will be because over a period of time, the feedback is your property potentially isn't sitting in the right price range against its competition. So I was also reading an article earlier today, actually, which spoke about how half of potential buyers also are unaware that their borrowing power may have increased by £40,000 and they can afford £34,000 more than they could have done 12 months ago. And also, the research found that just under half of buyers, 47%, would buy immediately if their mortgage repayments match their rent. How is it that people don't know this?
So I think this comes down to some of the things that we've discussed already, sort of confidence and being curious. And this is where it's just so important that people go and speak to a good mortgage advisor. There are a host of better deals available than people imagine. And there are certainly more options from a criteria and proposition point of view in terms of lender products. So be that the ability to buy with a smaller level of deposit, be that the ability to put a mortgage over a longer term, take some on interest only or all on interest only. And all of these things with the right advice could give someone the borrowing capacity or product that actually gives them a differential in terms of what they would just find by going online and putting in how much can I borrow and what's the rate going to be. This is really where good advice is crucial. And I think because we are in a world where there's lots of information available, people do sort of tend to think, well, the answer's online, and it's not. Mortgage advice here is really crucial because it can challenge people's perceptions and show them more in terms of the art of the possible.
Wherever rates go from here, get the right advice now, and we'll be ready to make your move. Get in touch with us, and we'll talk you through it.